Today's episode of Wine Time Fridays is brought to you in part by our friends at Seasons of Coeur d'Alene, Pilgrim's Market.
It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil and guest to celebrate and kick off Oregon Wine Month. And like we did with Washington Wine Month, we brought in
the expert.
Like one of our favorite distributors, if not the favorite. Don't tell Olsenberg, don't tell Lisa, don't tell any of these people. Our favorite distributor, sales rep, Cinda Allen with Idaho Wine Merchants, who was with us before and now is with us again. And Cinda, welcome to Wine Time Fridays.
Thank you for having me back.
Yes.
I am ecstatic to be here to talk about very, very beautiful wine region and state in general. And
it's going to be 6 wines. So we will say, this is episode 315. May 1st, happy May Day.
Oh, maybe.
Happy Friday. It's wine time. Okay.
May is a great month, just FYI.
May is a great month. Okay, so, I feel like if I do this,
Is it your birthday in May?
it's like
You
Russ
can-
Limbaugh, and I'll hit the table and stuff. Anyway.
Rush.
Okay.
Not Russ.
I said rush.
Okay. It sounded like Russ to me.
Okay, I'm going to pour our guest first. This is Shelley, would you say what this is?
The Chehalem Winery Pinot Gris,
Yes. What year? What vintage?
2024. So pretty young.
And most Pinot Gris from Oregon in general are made to be released and enjoyed upon vintage to vintage.
Yeah,
So,
it's almost kind of like rosés in a sense, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful expression of the land and the varietal itself. Beautiful with all kinds of foods, but yes, made to be enjoyed fairly young from vintage to vintage.
Shall we?
We shall.
To health, wealth, and abundance, gratitude, romance,
And peace on earth.
And love.
Cheers.
and cheersing.
Oh, no.
Excellent.
No, don't say that until we do.
Oh yeah,
cheers.
hashtag cheersing. Disregard, take that back.
So I can give a little history on Chehalem.
Yeah.
Chehalem is actually a really special place located in obviously the Willamette Valley, and this is kind of one of the icons next to their just standard Pinot Noir. They have many other varietals that they produce from different areas and vineyards within the AVAs of the Willamette. But Chehalem was founded in 1980, which soon would become a very, very beautiful vineyard that people source from all over the Willamette Valley. But it's Ribbon Ridge AVA is what this
Okay.
is. So
Yeah, Ribbon Ridge is not there are 21 or 29 AVAs in Oregon. I have
I think that there's a lot of beautiful vineyards and a lot of different sub-AVAs in Oregon that are all beautiful. I don't know how many to be exact.
We'll go over that because I have it.
Excellent.
I even sent it to Shelley. I want to say that there's 29. But anyway, Ribbon Ridge is one of the bigger ones, right?
Ribbon Ridge is actually a very small portion
there you
of the
go.
Willamette Valley,
See
where
what I'm talking
Dundee happens to be a bigger AVA. But they're all still very small pocket microclimates and vineyards in the sub-AVAs. So
This is really fruity,
It
but yet very dry and tart.
This tastes not dry, but I'm guessing it's fairly bone dry. It's got it. I think it's just fruity.
Well,
Yes.
the history of the vines and obviously the hands of the winemaker who, her name is Katie. She started and has now been in the lead of the program since 2012. Her touch is beautiful. It's a very good expression of the soil where the wines come from, and as little as she can do just to nurture that along, the better it is. So clean, fresh, good minerality, a little bit of a lemon kind of crispness that leads to the wine.
Is absolutely there.
So again, a beautiful wine to have by itself, or in my opinion, all wine goes with food and by itself, so you can't go wrong.
We do have food pairings here, but I didn't fill them in. It seems like shellfish and seafood would just kill it.
Vinaigrettes, salads,
Yeah.
even a cream sauce with some sort of, delicious pasta from the earth, like mushrooms, all of it.
We're typically not huge Pinot Gris or Pinot Grigio fans.
But we're learning.
I could wrap
you a
my
fan?
arms around this.
Yeah,
This, okay, can we just say, the term porch pounder probably gets a bad name, a bad rap, right? Because it's like, it's as cheap.
That's a porch enjoyer.
Well, this would fall under that porch pounder. This is very easy to drink and delicious.
And I love that people have their own words for what their wine and what the enjoyment of that
Yeah.
is, but you'll never hear me say, I'm just gonna go get a porch pounder, because I think that's a category where a lot of different wines fit into place, but each wine has its own unique magic that it brings to the table, whether you're in the heat of the sun or whether you're out at a picnic table or whether you're indoors.
Right.
So you'll never hear me use that term.
And
Go ahead
that's-
and use it, though.
Well, no,
But
but
I
that's
like
one of
it.
the reasons why I kind of prefaced that,
Yeah.
because using it seems like you're tainting the wine a little bit. You're downgrading a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah. Kind of.
That's just my opinion, and it kind of goes with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
This would be the porch enjoyer.
I like it. Or
Porch
the anytime
enjoy.
outdoors, indoors, or with food enjoyer.
Right.
You know,
If you're in the mood for a Pinot Gris.
I know a real estate agent, and she says, I help people that want to not live in a cardboard box, that want to live in a house.
Wow.
Find a house. And so this is the same line. Inside, outside, sunny, rainy,
Yep.
Christmas under the tree, Valentine's Day with oysters. I mean, it covers the gambit. And I've only gone December and February. I mean, there's other months too.
I love it.
This
But
is
yes, a
fantastic.
very iconic winery. And it ties into one of the other wines that we'll taste, which is the Stoller. In 2000, sorry, I have to check my dates here. In 2018, Chehalem was officially owned by Bill Stoller and part of the
Interesting.
Stoller family wine group. So
okay.
we'll talk about Stoller and Bill when we get there. But
Yeah. 23 AVAs, by the way. I thought I buried it down deep, but it's in one of the general talking points.
excellent. I'll try to remember that. But by the next time I have this conversation, there might be 26.
Yeah, there probably will be.
know.
Just saying.
Thousand wineries in Oregon now, and 23 AVAs. And this,
amazing.
what we're tasting through tonight, will cover several of them, from the Dundee Hills to the Rogue Valley.
Yes.
Now, you visited this property as well.
So Chehalem is one of my loves. The farmhouse where the original vineyard was planted, Ridgecrest Vineyard. I've been able to stay in that house a couple times, and the magic of Chehalem and the people and the history and the vineyards and the different sites of the Chehalem Mountains and the profiles and the depth.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn every time I go. So pretty much every time I go to the Willamette Valley in Dundee, I will most likely go to Chehalem every time. Because
That's-
there's always something to learn.
If that's not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is.
I have, our group went the first time, and we had partied a little bit the night before.
Doesn't sound like you.
Not at all, but lots of wine was consumed, I will say, and we
It was a big group.
It
wasn't just like one or two
It just
people.
wasn't two, no. But we ended up in the middle of the vineyard up in the Chehalem Mountains, and we were doing a flight of older vintage Riesling, Pinot Gris. It was at 9 a.m. in the morning, and none of us could hardly taste the wines. So,
Yeah, that's a very good indication.
In the middle
for me.
of the vineyard?
yes,
Oh, wow.
it was lovely. I have to thank my buddy Craig for that. So,
Wow.
We
We have never been to Oregon.
no, and
wineries.
we keep creating these relationships.
I know.
And they're like, come down, come say
Come up.
hi.
Is it
Yeah.
down or up? I guess it's
Well, it's
down.
kind of maybe a little
Over?
over and down. Yeah, over and down, just
over
a
and
little
down?
bit.
Appropriate.
it's actually a lot longer of a drive than it seems.
Yeah.
But it's worth every loud music car ride and
I
time in
like
the car
it.
that you can.
You
that
mean
you
no
can do.
podcasts, no books?
Music? Yeah, I don't know.
I know,
Music in the sun, the windows open. I don't know. It doesn't get much better than that.
I hear you.
Grenache Blanc.
Yes, a Grenache Blanc, Shelley. This is a 2024 Dobbes Family Estates Grenache Blanc.
Thank you.
And I just have to say this. We're tasting through 6 wines that Cinda distributes. She sells and distributes a lot more than these 6. This is just a small little sampling, a tickler, if you will,
Yes.
of some of the wines in your book, in your
Yes.
portfolio. And so I feel I have to say that because I don't want the other wineries and
To feel bad.
well, it's like, how come you talked about these guys and not us? You know what? We'll have Cinda on again. We will get
Yes.
to you.
And being blessed to be able to be the second time here, I strategically chose different wineries to talk about, and
Yeah.
they're all kind of still associated with each other. And yes, I love every brand that I sell, from one producer to all the depths of the production, and they are near and dear to my heart always. And but it is nice to feature and highlight some of these iconic old history wineries.
Yeah.
On that note, I do have to say one thing.
Oh, sounds serious.
Veronique Drouin with Domaine Drouin of Willamette
Yeah,
Valley
yeah.
and Maison Drouin of France just got the front cover of the Wine Spectator that'll be
Nice.
released at the end of May for her contributions and her passion and her family and the history and the love of what she does in the Willamette Valley and in
Wow.
France. So I got to.
No,
you
I
know?
love that.
They were kind of one of the pioneers that came to Oregon with some of the, first people here and really put their mark and set their foot in and said, this is going to be a beautiful region to grow Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
So I have in my notes that Oregon is the only top 5 wine state in the U.S. that showed positive growth in the number of wineries
Really,
over the
this
last
year?
Over the last year.
Maybe they're
3%.
running out of space in the other places.
Well, I mean, I think probably Oregon is still growing where California has
Run out of
felt,
space.
well, and they've felt some challenges given just maybe
water.
people not drinking as much wine and the price point of California wines in general, not, a broad brush, but Washington wines I think are probably holding pretty good, but Oregon is still it's got this momentum and growth, yeah?
So I think, things come in phases all the time,
Sure.
and ebb and flows. And I do think trends, also do the same thing.
Yep.
One thing I will say is back in 2003, when I first visited the Willamette Valley, and a most amazing experience I've ever been to. It was a really deep dive into the soils. I mean, Dave Erath was in the panel with Ken Wright. Like, it was iconic to sit and listen to these
Yeah.
gentlemen in this business who started at the very beginning, and had nothing to lose but a lot to lose at the same time.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
And Chardonnay was funky. It wasn't good. Like, it was like, they're like, I don't know what to do with this Chardonnay, so they started ripping up vines. And
That's one way of dealing with it.
I said, one day, I guarantee you, Oregon
put them
Chardonnay
back.
will make its mark in the wine industry,
Yeah.
and we are here. We are here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so
What was wrong with them before, do you think?
They just weren't quite sure how to figure out how to grow it with the soils and the oak treatments, but obviously with some help from our French partners and Veronique's, family and influence in that way, and some other people profoundly like David Lett, they figured it out. And the vines had to mature, and they had to pick the right clones or, such. But they replanted a lot of Chardonnay, and some people are ripping out other varietals to plant Chardonnay right now, so.
the three wines that people think of when they think of Oregon wine are Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris, and Chardonnay now, right?
And Chardonnay now.
Yeah,
That is
we're going to
correct.
have all three tonight. But this is one that is really interesting. We just need to do this so I can say my hat says #cheersing from Philosophy.
Cheers.
#cheersing.
Cheers.
Oh. I think I already said what it was, a 2024 Grenache Blanc. Yeah.
Yep,
Grenache.
so
Okay,
this
beautiful.
is from Dobbes family.
State.
Joe Dobbes established his winery in 2002 in the heart of the Willamette Valley, in the heart of Dundee. So really, literally right across the street from Dundee Bistro. We had the pleasure of going there this year and really diving in. Every winery produces many different names, many different, specific vineyard appellations, but for distribution purposes, sometimes we aren't allowed, or we do not have privilege to sell them because they may only make 50 cases, they may only make 200 cases. So they keep them for their tasting rooms. So we were able to taste through a lot of beautiful, beautiful wines at the Dobbes Winery. But he met his wife in the Willamette Valley, and now, fast forward, he's got a Patricia's Cuvée, which is named after her, and it's now called Dobbes Family instead of Joe Dobbes Winery. So
Nice.
he does produce another brand, which has been very successful for him as well, but the core of the Dobbes Winery is his label with the Dobbes family on it.
So you would have
So-
to go through a whole rebranding when you do that.
Yeah, so Grenache Blanc, for those that are curious,
I mean, it's the Grenache grape, right?
it is. So it's
Yeah.
the Grenache Blanc grape of France, and it goes in a lot of their wines over there in the Rhone Valley. And so the Rogue Valley in Oregon is obviously a little bit warmer, and the stone gravelly is similar to that of the Rhone in France. Therefore, those varietals have grown very well. But this has been something that he felt very passionate about, and has, kind of was one of the staples that set his name with Grenache Blanc.
Oh.
This
It
does
is-
not stay on the skins maybe at all, right?
No.
They crush, remove, and,
Yep.
and that sort of thing. So, they
have
have
to
to
do
be a
that
little bit
very
on the skin,
quickly.
but pretty quickly getting them.
It's very lovely. It
Yeah,
has a
this-
little bit of floral characteristics, a little bit of a lanolin note,
It's the mouthfeel.
and that is what is beautiful about Grenache Blanc. And
Yeah.
those warmer climates produce a lot of body, and maybe there's some lees stirring, but I don't think so on this wine. So
What's so interesting is that Pinot Gris, I didn't feel compelled to hold it back on my tongue, but this one I'm like, I'm not quite ready to swallow it yet, because it just coats. I don't know. Is that too much detail?
no. There's never enough detail in when it comes to wine, and I think that is always.
Careful what you say.
Yeah. Oh well, trust me, I can go on and on and on and on.
Are people trending towards these alternative whites like this more?
I think everybody is looking to experience something a little different. And, I take, for example, my child, who, really doesn't understand Chardonnay, so therefore she doesn't think she likes Chardonnay. But what she hasn't had is the right Chardonnay, right? So she's more experimental with not going to a Chardonnay and trying other varietals. And I think there's a demographic of, group of 15-year gap that are like, my parents drank Chardonnay, I'm going to try something else.
They'll come around.
But
and they will.
what they always end up doing is finding something at a tasting, for example, whether you're at Pilgrim's or whether you're, somewhere else,
At a big
base
tasting.
camp or wherever, and there's wine available to taste. I always say, you need to taste. Like, I don't like Chardonnay. I said, well, it'd be really great if you opened your mind for just a minute. And this is a tasting. You know, you don't have to like it, but if you try it and you find something that you love, you might be surprised. And actually, almost 99% of the time, they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize I like Chardonnay."
But it's always because you probably haven't had the right one.
I agree.
Almost always. I mean, there are
agree.
going to be some grapes you just won't like. Shelley's not a big fan of Petit Verdot. I mean, it's tannic.
Yes.
It's really a blending wine,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So to have 100% Petit Verdot, you better know what you're doing. And
Or what you're in for.
yeah, or what you're in for, yes. And the same
For
can be
sure.
said for a Tannat, right? Those
Absolutely.
tongue-ripping tannins.
Absolutely.
Grippy.
Grippy, that's right, grippy.
Definitely.
So
Grippy.
I say Grenache Blanc would be the most expressive and kind of adventuresome experience that you're going to be extremely pleased with all the time if you try it.
Can you tell me if I'm right or wrong on this? This would go great with Thanksgiving turkey.
Yes.
Yay
The
me.
body,
I got something right.
you know, and just this there's a little bit of a minerality and a salinity to
Yeah,
this
but
that
it's so
is
subtle, way back
so
there, yeah.
beautiful. But the little petrol note that you're getting on the end, and that kind of rocky, like river crushed rock kind of note. It is just a lovely wine, very versatile with actually quite a different few foods. Like I would drink this with oysters.
Oh, I mean, that's 2 times for oysters. By the way, we are heading into oyster season.
But we're only on the way.
Yay, I
so-
can't wait.
Yeah. Do you go to the fish people? Is it the fish people that are at Lowe's and they're trying?
Oh, fish. Oh, no, I do
Fish
not.
bowl?
I do not.
You have to try them.
I
They bring fresh stuff all the time.
I will definitely do that. I'll definitely do that. And I'll tell them when I'm there, I'm like, well, I have this bottle of Grenache Blanc at home, or this Chardonnay that I think would be great with this. I always talk
Yeah.
wine when I talk, What do you think I should do?
This is delicious. We're going to take a break, but before we do that, we want to say a huge thanks to our friend Judy Tebow and her team here at Next Level Consulting for hosting this room today. If you're a business owner looking to scale, streamline your operations, or get some high-level strategic coaching. Strategic can be a tough word after that 4th class.
Strategery.
I can't even say it. Judy is the one to call. They help businesses find that next gear, and we're thrilled to be recording in their beautiful space today. Check them out, nextlevelconsultingus.com. That was a live read.
Nice.
Now we're going to head over. By the way, all 3 of our sponsors for this episode are within a 1-mile radius.
That's nice.
Is that right?
You can just visit them.
Is that right? We've got that? I have to know. Seasons of Coeur d'Alene? Yeah. Pilgrim's Market? We're going to hear from one of them right now.
Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays, episode 315. We have a 315 Tapas restaurant in Coeur d'Alene.
Boy, shiny bright thing. Squirrel.
On this Oregon Wine Month kickoff with Cinda Allen. Oh, nice.
That was my exclamation
job.
point. Okay.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Doesn't happen often. Okay, the 2022. Cinda, help us out with this. Beaux
So,
Frères.
actually, that's fine. This is one of the most beautiful Chardonnays
Ever.
I've had in a very long time. It is balanced. It is lovely. It is expressive. It is true to region. It's the Beaux Frères family. And this is a really fascinating story. First of all, the winery is an actual little farmhouse that sits about 8 acre, or sits on in kind of one of the little spots. It doesn't take up a lot of room. But this property, very sensitive to dates, was founded in 1988.
Okay.
And Michael Etzel was the founder. It was a pig farm, the land.
Ah.
And
This is very interesting.
yes.
Interesting.
So when we visited the winery as a group this last year, it is a very down to earth, very farm, very community, very very just everything based around the land and what they're doing to the land and how it's affecting, the environment and what that looks like. They still have pigs on the farm, not as many as that were there. But so Beaux Frères means brother-in-law, and essentially
so
it
good
was,
brother.
Yes,
So brother-in-law.
It was his brother-in-law and him who came and invested in this land and made it move forward, planting Chardonnay, Pinot Noir. They have 3 different vineyards that they source from. This is all from the Ribbon Ridge district. And history, rolling through, obviously, generations, that's a long time. And now the middle son who we met, who actually told us the story, and it was really beautiful, of him in the vineyards, when he was 8 and 10, chasing around and running around and chasing the pigs. Yeah, and essentially he is now the head of the winery. He's younger than me, and that is a huge responsibility for somebody in their 30s to have. But he has children. I know, but he's grown up in it. Like his hands and his love is in the vineyard and farming. And there's 2 other gentlemen that have been there with him for over 20 years that he has with him, helping, kind of take care and maintain everything because they know the land inside and out. But he has children now who are also running through the vineyards, and hopefully one day, the legacy continues.
Man.
But a beautiful, beautiful story, and a beautiful, small production winery. You'd think Beaux Frères was huge, but it's not. It's between 8,000 to 10,000 cases a year, which is very small in the grand scheme of things. But the premium fruit and the AVA that they source from, and the elevation, and then the oak barrel treatments that they use is top notch. Like everybody, but their wines are well worth, I think, every penny that is attached to the price tag of it.
Well, so you bring that point up. We did not talk about the Pinot Gris. About $20-25 area retailers. I think given right around that. The Dobbes family Grenache Blanc, 26 to 30. This one comes in 75 to 90 bucks.
Yes.
This is not inexpensive Chardonnay, but as we talk about, you can have these $100 wines that are not worth $100, or you can have a $25 wine that punches way above its weight class, or you can have these $75 to $90 Chards that are every bit worth the penny or more.
And their influences come from some of the most iconic producers in Burgundy, Champagne, Bordeaux. So this is a very French-inspired and very, very beautiful French. Dijon clones and all these, other things that they've put into the farm and the vineyards. The wine speaks for itself.
I was going to say, this would shut me up.
Really?
This will shut me up.
We'll have to
It's
invest
just a
in it.
stunner. And
This
like I
is-
say, I have access to a lot of wine, like a lot of people do. But when you have a wine like this that reminds you in reminiscence of Burgundy in France, which is what Oregon is so beautifully, kind of coming into its own for.
Well, the latitudes
something
are very
competing.
similar, yeah.
Absolutely, but
Yeah.
competing on that level with some of the oldest Burgundy houses,
Does your
in
daughter
the
have
world.
this one?
No.
'Cause
She
this
doesn't-
is-
She does not get to have this one.
We're gonna
This
wait
is-
till you show signs that you might like
Right.
Chardonnay.
Yes. That's the funny thing. She drinks a lot of champagne.
That's
And
funny.
she's like, well, I don't like Chardonnay. I said, honey, yes, you do.
You just don't know
You
it.
just
You
don't
like
know.
sparkling Chardonnay.
Yeah, so it's really funny. Again, most people, and most people too, when you go back to the Grenache Blanc, think they don't like it, but they've never probably had it, or they've had it in another form of a wine and they didn't even know they had it. So,
That Grenache Blanc kind of acts a little bit like a Chardonnay.
It can.
A little bit,
yes.
yeah.
A little bit like a Chardonnay. This has got oak on it,
Absolutely.
but it's perfectly balanced.
perfectly
It's
balanced.
not a
And
butter
I
bomb.
get sourdough bread on the nose.
It's because we just had some today.
No, that's not
Actually,
why.
that would be from the lees, from the time on the lees, and that goes through autolysis, and which is a fancy word that I just learned. Well, actually, I kind of knew what it was. I just didn't know the word for it, but I did learn it this year. So
One of the
I like
reasons
to say it, autolysis.
Autolysis. We did autolysis as
we
the wine
talked
word of
about
the
that in
week.
chemistry.
Yeah.
But I
There you
was
go.
never good at chemistry.
Well, I have a question that I'm guessing 100% of our listeners right now are begging me to ask. And that's regarding the terroir here that was on a pig farm.
Very fertile.
Yeah.
And the Ribbon Ridge AVA is known for, a lot of dark fruits for their Pinot Noirs, and obviously bright, higher, like peach, kind of lemony fruits that the soil brings. But it's a very good drainage soil. It's not rocky like the Dundee Hills or like that red Jory soil. But yeah, I would say really good drainage, really good gravelly, but not like the clay that you'll find in the Dundee.
Well, our wine word of the week this week is the Bells Up Winery wine word of the week. Bells Up, our newest sponsor, and our only Oregon winery sponsor. And talk about boutique. They are boutique, boutique, boutique. But, Shelley, what is the wine word of the week?
It's Jory. I don't even know this one. A nutrient-rich, reddish volcanic soil found in Oregon's Willamette Valley. Famous for producing Pinot Noir with high acidity and distinct red fruit characteristics. Just like you said.
I'm just going to glow right now at my transitions.
I
My
love
segues.
it. I love it. Did you know I was going to say Jory soil?
No, whenever I put together, I should have said yes, but whenever I put together show notes, I'm always asking for 3 options for wine word of the week. And this came up, and I'm like, I don't know if I believe it. And I did a little diving.
Absolutely.
And I was going to bring it up during the Pinots because it says mostly the Willamette, actually, area. But when you brought that up, it's like, that's like teeing up a shot and getting Cal Raleigh to get back on the bandwagon to hitting some dingers. So
I love it. Yep.
yeah. So I think every wine region, okay, I'm not talking AVAs, but I'm talking like Oregon, Washington, California. In Europe, you got Burgundy, you got Bordeaux, in Italy, Tuscany region. All of these different areas have their own general terroir.
Correct.
And then you start stepping down into the AVAs. The micro ones, but even more micro, it can be like we bring up in BC, where you'll have Cabernet Sauvignon growing over here, and 90 yards away you've got Chardonnay, because we're really talking micro climates and whatnot. That's what really is so fascinating about this world of wine, because there's so many moving parts. And so this being the soil that, I'm guessing there are some other volcanic soil around the world, but none quite like this, and certainly none like this vineyard that's sitting on top of an old pig farm that is going to have just a different type of soil.
Yep, and that's why it's called Ribbon Ridge.
Yeah.
AVA has a very distinctive profile and contributes to the wines. But yeah. All sustain, and this is the thing I love, is a lot of people nowadays in general in wineries practice sustainable, growing and as organic as they can be. But a lot of Oregon wineries are B Corp and also salmon safe. So
B Corp was almost going to be my wine word of the week.
I love it.
Almost. I actually almost went there. Why don't you talk a little bit about the B Corp model,
So basically, I guess in a nutshell, and it is a beautiful thing to highlight, but it is protecting the environment and then doing everything for the community. So a lot of that's in a nutshell, really.
And salmon safe?
Salmon safe is, I did write this one down because I just didn't want to get this wrong. It's the practices of farming in the vineyards that prevent erosion from falling into the streams and the rivers. So no pesticides, meaning no spraying, but and to keep the soil intact in the vineyards, whether that's with a step stool, ladder vineyard, or a blockage down below, so it just doesn't erode into the rivers.
Not all of that is bad, but if you're using pesticides, then
Yeah.
you know it's
Yeah.
not good at all.
Yeah.
And I think we talk about trends. This is past the point of being a trend. This is a goal of
Yes.
many
And that's why
industries.
you're going to find most people nowadays who make wine practice these farming techniques.
That's good.
Yeah. Let's talk another statistic in the Oregon wine industry, which now has a total economic impact of $8.49 billion with a B, which is nearly 4% increase since the last major report in 2022. So this is from February, so only 3 months ago. I'm learning how to count. Let's see. Should we do? We weren't going to, but should we do a Pinot?
I love it.
Let's do that.
Let's bring out the Pike Road.
I don't want to toss
Yeah,
this
no,
one.
you're not
I
gonna
don't
toss
blame
it.
you. I want to drink more of this Beaux Frères Chardonnay.
This is really good. You can bring those other 3 glasses out, Shelley, and we just won't do a rinse pour.
Okie dokie.
That way we won't waste.
So while she's doing that,
Yeah.
I'll give a little on Pike Road. So the name Pike Road Winery actually came from the road that travels along the lowland farms of the Dundee and the Willamette borderline AVA. This goes back to one of, again, the most iconic producers, Elk Cove. This is its sister winery. And it was established in 2016, and it was super funny because in 2017, I came to Oregon with a group, and we obviously went to Elk Cove. Again, Elk Cove, Chehalem, those are kind of and Druin are some of the wineries that I go to every time because there's always something to mention to learn.
Yeah. Look at that color. Oh my goodness.
And so obviously established in 1974, Elk Cove and Gaston, high elevation for the Willamette Valley. But his winemaker that had been assisting him kind of was taking the lead and did eventually take over in 2016. But the cool thing about Pike Road and the influence of Elk Cove is that they source from all the AVAs in the Willamette Valley. So you have Chehalem, Dundee, Eola Hills, the Laurelwood, the Tualatin, and the Yamhill Carleton AVA. So Pike Road is kind of an expression of all those lowland farmers that they source from and bring the beauty into the glass.
Yeah.
So they tried to put them all in?
They farm, they farm and blend the Pinot Noir from those different AVAs.
Oh,
So
nice.
Take just a little time out and ask Cinda to move that mic up here. You can clip it right there maybe.
sure.
And you can turn that around.
Oh, like this?
You can do that and then it will pivot.
Oh, am I too far away? I don't want to be too. loud.
You were covering. Yeah. And
because
that's-
I'm so.
Well,
you know.
you're talking to one, so.
I'm talking wine. I talk with my hands. Sorry.
And by the way, you saw all of that on YouTube, but you didn't see that on audio because this has all been cut out. A 2023 Pike Road Pinot Noir, $35 to $40 at area retailers. I'm going to stick that right here for you all to see.
I like that label. Very pretty.
Yeah, it's very cool. This has got gorgeous color, by the way. I mean, that's got gorgeous color. It looks like a Pinot's supposed to look.
It smells like a Pinot's supposed to
It
smell.
sure does.
It drinks like a Pinot's supposed to drink.
Have you ever
Must
drank
be a
yours?
Pinot.
No, well, no, I just
Okay,
know.
good. Well, let's just do a hashtag cheersing.
All right.
So I can talk about my hat again. Hashtag cheersing.
Cheers.
You will be able to buy these hats on philosophy.com. I'm just saying. Okay.
Not on winetimefridays.com?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that also. Okay.
A lovely, lovely floral, little bit of leather saddle, cherry, tea leaf. This is medium bodied and velvety smooth. It is so lovely from start to finish.
I have nothing to say.
Another wine that makes you speechless.
Yeah.
Oregon will do that to you.
I-
All Oregon producers
mean,
do this to me. So,
so-
I understand.
Before we started, you had me put this ahead of the other two Pinots. I had this last, but you had me put it. One question is, why would you put this first, and then we're going to move to the whole cluster from Willamette Valley Vineyards, and then the Stoller Pinot. Why would you put this one first? And number two, really, let's get into the differences between Oregon Pinot and Red Burgundy.
Sure, let's dive.
Let's dive.
I like it.
This way I don't have to talk, I can just drink.
So, stylistically, this is going to have a little bit more softer plusher, which is what it does have. Elegant finish.
I mean, it's
But it's-
amazingly, just super finessed.
Yes, very beautiful expressions of Pinot Noir, all in all. But it's a blend of all, or maybe just a few of the different AVAs. Where the next two that we'll go into are not similar to this. So they'll have their own distinctive, probably a little bit higher in acidity. This is, in my opinion, a introductory into really well-made Pinot Noir that can go on and on and on into the next levels. So again, this would be for my daughter, who doesn't like a big, really crisp,
Yeah.
clean, yet. But she
Yeah.
would probably, as we say, enjoy this on the porch or
It's-
in the dining table or wherever. This more so than some of those that we're going to try next.
Here's the thing with me, this doesn't taste like an introductory Pinot to me.
But
Well,
that's
it's
that's
not.
Pinot Noir
Yeah.
in Oregon, and that is what
Yeah,
is
this
so
is-
beautiful about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. They're
It's ready
now
to drink now.
growing
Yes.
Gamay
Yes.
in the Willamette Valley, yeah, which is also a nice medium body red. Love,
More fruit expression
Yeah.
for a Gamay.
yeah. But this one, where I think we get like red cherry a lot and raspberry on the Pinots of Oregon, this is
cherry,
got a little darker, I think. Just a little bit darker.
And that's all of those different AVAs and what they bring to the table for the specific
And
profile.
do they change the percentages of
Yes.
each? Okay,
Yep.
yeah. That's, to me, that'd be a nightmare.
I think that's the most beautiful part of a winemaker, and the fun part of expressing, what did this bring to the table? Ooh, if we do too much of this vineyard, this is going to overshadow this vineyard. And, we got to bring in a little bit more of this to get this note. And do we still have Pinot? Is it too much one this way, too much the other? I think those are some of the most beautiful things about
It's like
the chaos
a
of
chef.
making wine and blending, right?
Well,
And that's why we leave it to the professionals who've been doing it for,
Right,
over,
yes.
I mean,
50 years. Actually,
What
Elko
is it?
celebrated 50 years this year.
Oh,
And the
good
Pike
for them.
Road, is now on its 12th year. So,
this is the 23, yes?
yes.
Is that what I said? Because I didn't have that.
Oh, you didn't
Can you
write
do
it?
it? I can do it.
I gotcha.
Okay. It's the 23.
23.
So I like the way when Cinda put the bottle back, she blocks my face so that nobody.
Oh!
Look, I
You can
usually.
block my face if you
No,
want.
usually I'm blocking Shelley's by accident, so this is good. I was going to say something, I really was. I had a point and I forgot completely now. What could it be?
You were talking about you're not sure how this is an introductory Pinot Noir.
Well, it doesn't taste like that to me.
But it tastes like Oregon Pinot Noir. And
Yeah.
an introduction into
Yeah.
Oregon Pinot Noir takes you on this journey.
Well, so I'm really intrigued by your. How old is your daughter now?
She just turned 24.
24, and so hard to scoff at her champagne love. Is it all
Right.
sparklers or pretty much just champagne?
Oh, she'll drink a rosé like nobody's business as well.
Got
So
it.
she doesn't know she likes Pinot Noir either.
See, this is the beauty.
This is the beauty.
I mean, it really is. It's like going back to the movie Sideways, where the guy's sitting in the booth, no effing Merlot, but what is
Yet
it?
he's drinking Merlot.
From Bordeaux.
Again.
It's classic. It's just classic.
It is.
Well, gosh. Okay, we're having too much fun. We're going to take another break. And this time, no. Actually, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it right now because I'm going to say it twice about Judy. We are recording today at the offices of Next Level Consulting. A big thanks to Judy Tebow. By the way, Stan Tebow was playing on the 4th fairway on the golf course that we live on. Ooh, we shouldn't have said 4th fairway. People are going to start haunting us.
We're on the 9th fairway.
We're on the 10th fairway. No, we're on the 19th hole. There we go.
Don't say the golf
You just
course.
gave away all kinds of secrets. I don't know.
You just didn't say the golf course, so that's always good.
There we go. Next Level specializes in helping entrepreneurs and organizations navigate growth and reach their full potential if you feel like your business has hit a plateau. Go see Judy and the team to help you get to, well, Shelley,
The next
level. And when we come back, we're going to get into the next 2 Pinot Noirs. Now.
Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays, 3:15.
That was it. I love it.
We're now on to a wine that's really fascinating, also very beautiful, with a lot of history. This is the Willamette Valley Vineyards Whole Cluster Pinot Noir. This winery, thank you,
You're welcome.
was established in 1983 when he started farming. It is got a whole level of depth to it, from the proprietors to how this came to be, who the father actually represented somebody who came in and planted these vines, set foot. It was an old turkey farm.
farm.
This was crazy. This is a
Pig
great
farm,
story.
turkey
I know.
farm.
Well, we're in farming country, so
You may have a sheep farm, get a little sheep butt.
and wine wasn't a thing really in Oregon, except for those iconic producers who were like, oh my gosh, this soil and the climate and where we're at, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay will go beautifully here. But this is a fairly big winery of all of the wineries that I represent.
Probably, maybe the biggest,
It's pretty big, but
Yeah.
it's probably not the biggest one out there, but the
No.
biggest one that I represent. But everything is done with class. We got to go to the winery in the Domain, so in Willamette Valley in Dundee. And what they have there is one of the most beautiful wineries that I've visited, with a full-blown, great culinary division restaurant.
Yeah.
If you are in the Willamette Valley, aside from everywhere you should go, I think I think that this is also a really beautiful view, dining, wine, cultural history experience in all.
It seems like Willamette Valley Vineyards would be maybe almost akin to like Chateau Saint Michel in a sense.
Still independently owned, though,
Well,
with
good
the
for
group.
them.
Yes, and have invested everything that's happened to them over the years back into the vineyards. But they own Tualatin Estate, which they purchased that in 1973. They own Elton Vineyard, which was established in 1983, and then the Louisa Vineyard, which was named after one of their longtime farm helpers in 2015.
I love that.
So, Jim Barano, who was the founder, essentially did everything for the people, the community, and the wine, the passion and love of wine. So the whole cluster of Pinot Noir is kind of fun and fascinating because it's not pressed. It's all, done whole cluster. So there's no, possibility of mold or mildew. It's really, really, really expressive with bright fruit, good acidity, and has a little bit of a wild character to it in the
It
palate.
does.
Probably should. Let's
Absolutely.
toast this up. Hashtag cheersing. I won't mention my hat this time.
No, you won't, huh?
But still very lovely Pinot Noir. Beautiful expression of the valley.
Yeah, this is a little bigger too.
Much more fruity.
Which is that bright expression, but also, if you notice, it is definitely a touch more crisper on the finish. A little bit more.
Tannins.
You can
Also.
you can find this. They make a lot of this.
They
They
make
produce
Whole
a lot.
cluster?
This is what I seemingly see on the shelves all the time.
yes.
And so I know whole cluster seems to be obvious to many people, but I think there are some people that wonder what the hell that even means. Because what I think it means is they pick the grapes and it all goes in.
It all goes in.
And that's probably why we're getting some of the little heavier tannins on this, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yep, and that's what I always say. It kind of makes it wild, but it also makes
Yeah.
it sexy.
Well,
So-
both are good combination.
I think so, especially when it comes to wine.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of a deeper fruit profile, but the mouthfeel is big and like I say, crisp on the finish. But overall, it's still Pinot. It has a lot of leather, and again, a little bit of that forest floor note, that savory kind of thing that comes from keeping those, clusters whole.
What was that last Pinot was way back, and this is way front.
Yes.
And we had some people over, a person, to help get Shelley's car back running, and brought his girlfriend over, and she found out we had a wine podcast, and then she started talking about all the snobbery that goes in with wines and winery people, right? And just, I'm like, well, this is what we're trying to, get rid of. And we won't get rid of it, but we can certainly put our stamp on the, not being, what's the word I'm looking at, starts with a P. Anyway, just
Problematic.
I like that word.
Pretentious.
pretentious is it. And so, but it's interesting because it's like all these words, one of the words that I come up with like a Burgundian,
Burgundian.
red Burgundy, is from Gary Vaynerchuk when he's like, yep, I'm getting a little sheep butt on the nose because, and that makes perfect sense because it's very barnyard, right?
Yes.
But all those hoity-toity wine people are like, you can't say sheep. It's like, how dare you?
There's nothing like saying something that you get out of a wine that gives you a picture of what you're talking about.
Not like a Jolly Rogers or whatever it is, right?
I think anything that helps people paint a picture in a very clear way is so much better than worrying about the language that you're using when you're describing wine.
Right.
Back in the day, I remember when I first started tasting wine, I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And I would say that out loud. Now, I just didn't have the experience that I have to taste the wine and really appreciate where I say, well, I'm not a huge fan of, let's just say, this varietal, but I can still make sure the wine is true to varietal and explain it in the best way that I can, which is like, hey, it has milk chocolate. Like everybody knows what milk chocolate is.
Yeah.
Or, the body reminds me of whole milk versus skim milk. There's always these very clear descriptions that most people have experienced that you can explain. So for me, pretentiousness in wine is not a thing. I try very hard, and I think
Are you saying it doesn't exist?
it really, for me, doesn't exist.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
But I think there are still people in the wine club that are like, you can't let these people in. They don't know what to say. And
But
those
that's
are
the beauty of wine.
It is, and we
Because-
don't need to talk to those people anyway.
And I would just encourage everybody to have their language that they want to have when it comes to wine, and everything will be okay and fall into place.
Exactly, 100%.
Right. Like when I said it smells like a frog's loo.
Yeah, like a
There you go.
like a swamp in
I mean,
Canada
it's
when I
all
play with
based
the
on your experience
Yeah.
Yes.
of tasting, smelling,
licking rocks.
licking
And
around.
that doesn't mean that a swamp smell is bad.
No. it's
no.
not.
That's the thing,
Or
right?
Captain Crunch, or a
Right.
red bell pepper,
Right.
or I mean, you
It
know,
doesn't
you've
necessarily
mentioned
mean that.
leather and you've mentioned forest
Tea leaves.
floor
Yeah.
and tea. I mean, these are all indicators. In fact, this is a good place to say when you are eating things, whether it's I don't know. Gosh, some of the profiles that we get in wine, right? But try these things. Look at some of the descriptions and say, last week we talked about stone fruit as our wine words of the week. Stone fruit last week,
Oh, okay.
which we haven't recorded
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
And what stone fruit means, right? Go out and
Peaches,
taste the
apricots.
peach, the apricot,
The
the
pith.
plum. Yes.
Yes, the pith.
Right?
Yeah.
And get an idea of what that is. Shelley's playing in the swamps up in Canada and the frogs. That has a smell. I play football and I walk by a ball field and I smell the grass. That brings me back. And we all have our experiences. That's what makes us great and different. And we will
Yes.
tie that all in with wine.
I agree. It's just like hiking on a misty
Yeah.
morning or waking up
Versus-
from camping with a campfire smell.
Right.
Not that, I mean, that's not a bad thing.
No,
You can
it's
have
not
a
even
little
lit,
bit-
but it still has the smell.
Yeah.
And the misty morning camp versus a 4 o'clock in the afternoon hot, dry hike.
Yep.
They're two different things, but they
entirely
all
di-
have
dusty.
smell. Senses, yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Listen, look at us. Let's
And
go to the
next
last one. Okay. I don't need my opener for this. This is now the first two Pinots we had were 23s. This is a 2024 Stoller. And I think that Cinda would like me to pour that much because
Yes.
I have a funny feeling she really, well, not that she dislikes any of these, but this one has a little special spot in her heart.
So, obviously, I can't say enough about Stoller and just the influence and all my producers and all the producers, you know, out there in the Oregon, pioneering and making it what it is and what it will become today, you know, tomorrow on down the road. Bill Stoller basically came over. He's actually born and raised in Dayton, Oregon, so he's an Oregonian.
Not Dayton,
and-
Ohio.
No, Dayton, Oregon. And in 1943, this is when he kind of came and was processing Oregon and, you know, doing all these things. But in 1993 is when Stoller Estate Vineyards was founded and vines were planted. He's brought a lot of great things. Again, the Stoller family group with the Chehalems.
How many different labels do they have?
So, Stoller, Chemistry, Chehalem, and I believe that's it.
Really? It seemed like there was more. Just
Those are the ones that I work
Okay,
with.
got it.
From the Stoller
Having looked at their
family
website,
portfolio.
it seems like there's a lot there.
I'm trying
but
to
I
think.
might-
Yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
but the Stoller, Chehalem, Chemistry, those are all near and dear to my heart. And again,
yeah.
a place that I visit every time. So 100% sustainable, estate-owned fruit. There's a tire swing out in the middle of the vineyard overlooking this
Nice.
beautiful winery that they finished in 2015-ish.
Wow.
It's a stunning place and a stunning, you know, winery at the bottom of the Dundee Hill Valley.
That's so cool. Wine is such a fun industry to begin with, and when you go to visit vineyards and wineries, man, there's just nothing like it.
There is nothing like it. And, you know, I think each individual region has their own magic, you know, and I am very fortunate and blessed that I make it a point to go and visit these places so I
Yeah.
can submerge myself into,
Sure.
you know, what makes wine special there. It's the people, the culture, and the love of passion for what they do.
I mean,
So
There's a complete, oh, you want to cheers this up. Let's toast this up. Hashtag cheersing. Shelly keeps ready to drink, and she's like, you keep talking, Phil.
I keep smelling.
I know, it's got an interesting nose to it.
So you can see all three are very different, and intentionally different, but also very beautifully expressive for each area of the region that they're from in the Willamette Valley. And really in the center of, Dundee and Ribbon Ridge. And
This is really good.
yeah.
It's got, the nose had a flint.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting and the fact that I can even pull that out is remarkable because I can't do that usually.
There's a little bit of cinnamon too in this, so those baking spices, those pie spices. It's really clean and crisp again. A really good velvety, a little less richer fruits. So it's just kind of more elegant and seamless.
Yeah.
And it could age a while too.
Yes.
This
And
24.
they make all tiers of, Pinot Noir. They do the Dundee, and then all of their, vineyard designates that they source from on the property. So there are different names for them, but those are the ones that I see in distribution. They have a
Yeah.
reserve that's, I think maybe 65 retail.
Yeah, this is 24
Yeah,
bucks.
and
Yeah,
this
that's a
is
very good
this
price
is a
point.
very
Yeah,
good price.
I mean, this is to me, when you look at the price point, this would be your entry level. But it does. But what you're saying, it doesn't necessarily portray a bigger scope of the Oregon Pinot.
I
Okay.
would say by the softness and the roundness sometimes of the fruit that you'll get with the backing in your palate, those are kind of more your approachable, where these are maybe a next step up. And then you get into the big ones, which are more comparable to Burgundies that age forever.
Yeah.
There can have the potential to age forever.
It seems to me that California Pinots are becoming bigger.
Well,
what I've kinda
I
noticed.
think the thing is there are still there are still beautiful Pinot Noirs coming out of California, and
That's an
the
interesting way of responding.
the diversity of the vineyard sites, the coastal influence, the elevation influence also ring true, where things are getting warmer. And that's a fact across the board in the
Right.
world when
Yeah.
it comes to wine in all regions. And so you have to figure out, how high do you want your alcohols to be, and is the
Yeah.
fruit ripe enough?
I mean,
And
talked about ABV today.
yeah, and then there's all kinds of things that come into that. But I just tasted, I say this because I just tasted a very beautiful Pinot Noir at our trade tasting that we just did. And I forget how beautiful some California Pinot Noirs can be.
It's so funny because those in Champagne are scoffing at,
I don't think they are anymore.
No, they're keeping their mouth shut now, but they're like, sparklers from England, fit. And
We'll see.
now this whole climate change that are warming, and they're like all of a sudden struggling where it's going right into the.
Yeah, I think
Kinda interesting.
it's an interesting thing, and I think most people in the wine industry who've been doing this for a long time are maneuvering through it and trying to figure out how to do it. You have to,
You
otherwise,
have to, yeah.
you're going to get left behind.
Yep. Stand your ground.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
let's
See
bring
whether-
the fight. Let's see what happens.
I mean, you do have to pivot and evolve.
Yep.
I mean,
and I think most people are. So, but I think undoubtedly, sometimes a warm season for a longer period of time, depending upon when bud break
Yeah.
is to harvest, can cause some real issues.
we're in May now. We should be getting right around bud break, yes?
Absolutely, there
Yeah.
are vineyards that have started, which is a little scary.
I know, because
it is early,
and the
but,
hail and-
but
yeah.
I think from everybody I've talked to, they're going to be okay. It's going to be a good season.
Crossing your fingers, no hail, please. Zero hail.
Yes, or
please.
freeze or frost.
Well, there's
Yeah.
that too. I mean, you can go a couple hours.
but not days.
No, we don't know yet, but because of a couple nights of 31 degrees, we may or may not have lost our hibiscus. And that makes me cranky because we kept it going all winter.
All winter in the house.
Ugh.
I'll keep my fingers crossed
Thank
for
you, because the tortoises need those flowers. The Oregon Wine Board's official theme for this year's wine month is, do you know this, Cinda?
No.
Where adventure meets
That makes
excellence.
sense.
Where
Yes.
adventure meets excellence.
That makes sense.
Moving beyond just the tasting room, they are pushing the idea of Oregon wine adventures, pairing wine with the state's natural beauty like camping, hiking, and backyard barbecuing.
You know,
gardening.
almost everybody in Oregon that I know in all the wineries is very outdoorsy. This all makes sense. They go wild river rapids, you know, they jump off cliffs.
Yeah,
I don't know. They go kayaking in the craziest places. They're all crazy, like most of us. But the adventure in Oregon
Speak
is
for yourself.
real. It's real. So that
Yeah.
makes sense. That's a great motto. I love
We
it.
need to go there.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do it tomorrow.
I say
Yeah.
go.
We're going to see the
Actually,
tulips.
today being May 1st, May Day, we're actually still in California for Social Media Marketing World. We're both really worn out right now because of 3 or 4 days of making people happy at a 2,400 attendee conference about social media and AI.
AI.
So there you go.
Well, there's nothing that a couple really great bottles of wine can't
You
fix
got
in
that
one
right.
day.
You are so
Or
right
two.
about that. Shelley, can you say real quick some of the wines we may or may not have enjoyed this
We
week?
may or may not have. Zacamesa Z Cuvée, Macon Village White Burgundy, Will Winemakers Reserve Pinot Noir, and Hierogram Chardonnay. Hierogram.
Easy for you to say.
Hierogram. I don't know.
Some things coming up. Today is actually Sauvignon Blanc Day, but we did an Old World versus New World last week because we knew Cinda was here. We're not doing Sauvignon Blanc today. So we did that last week, Old World versus New World, and we had a Duckhorn Sauvignon Blanc along with
Which
a
is
Sancerre.
always
So
good.
there you go.
Oh, fun. What a great comparison.
I know. And of course, last week was Viognier Day, so we also opened up a Cinder Viognier. Not Cinda, but Cinder.
Cinder. I used to sell that wine, believe it or not, back in the day. I did. I've sold many things back in the day, and now sometimes some things are back. So I'm excited. I get
it's so
rejuvenated
fun.
all over again.
So fun. Cinder's making great wines. The 9th is World Moscato Day, the 17th National Pinot Grigio Day. By the way, we had a Pinot Gris, same grape, different pronunciation depending on where you're from. 21st is not only International Chardonnay Day, Shelley,
But
and Cinda, it's National Movedra Day. I have to say Movedra. I know Moved is what a lot of people say.
Mourvèdre.
24th anniversary of Judgment of Paris. We're working with David Hoffman to try to get, we're going to take a time out of Oregon Wine Month because it's the 50th anniversary of the Judgment of Paris. And we are working diligently trying to get at least a Stag's Leap and a Chateau Monteleno. But we're also looking for a
even
Ridge,
seen a Chateau Monteleno.
Chalone Vineyards, and there's one more I can't think of. We're looking at getting 5 to really shine the light on that. David's saying, do you want any of those Bordeaux? I'm like, no.
That sounds like a fun tasting and
I mean-
a really good homage to the icons of California.
I know, and it's like, this is really that blowing the barn doors off of the, back to pretentiousness of they can't be making wines as good. And from what I understand, they did a 30-year rejudgment and more American wines won, like Ridge. I mean, it's like, this is so cool. Anyway, that's, and then 25th should be just a national
Wine
holiday,
Day.
National Wine Day. So there you go.
Every day is National Wine Day.
It sure is. Next week, last minute, we have Kim Vols with K Vols Wines. Another boutique winery out of Oregon. We should be getting the wines shortly. And then we will be doing that on the 8th. And then the 15th, we're going to have, we have so many people. I thought I had these all down here. I don't. But we have Dave Spector with Bells Up Winery. We hope to have Wine is Like Music.
We'll see.
Still working out the details. And we've got Elahi. Yep.
Elahi.
Brad
And
Ford.
Lady, oh, good.
Cinda's
Yes.
taking it upon herself.
Sorry.
She's got an empty glass. I love
That's
that.
not fun.
No, it's not funny. It's not cool. I don't know what we were thinking of.
There we go.
What else do we have? We have,
That's it. Wrap it up.
wrap it up, we have one more. Boom, boom, boom.
You'll remember
Well,
later.
I'll remember next week and we'll tell you. Anyway, huge thanks to today's sponsors, Seasons of Coeur d'Alene and Pilgrim's Market. But a bigger thanks to Cinda Allen.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you to both of you. Anytime I get to talk about wine and the stories and my passion about it, I am thankful. So I appreciate it.
And we love the stories.
Do you know what we
And
should
your
do,
knowledge.
Shelley? Now that I can get it out there so everybody knows, we should have a little wine thing with just the sales reps from distributors that way.
I would love that.
On
That
the
could be
deck,
very
we
fun.
have big wine barrels with glass tops, and we just start pouring wine.
I love it.
We'll get Olsenberg in. He'll bring his drum kit.
He better.
I know. He'll have to be in the living room so I can accompany him.
I'll sing.
I thought you were on
Really?
the patio.
I mean, you may not want me to, but I'll
Well, I asked Shelley before we went down to Social Media Marketing World, am I singing at the karaoke? They have a live karaoke band
At the House of Blues.
at the House of Blues.
sing. Yes, you're singing.
Well, she said that.
Yes.
And so we will tell
have to
you
get there
next
early.
week what that turned out to be.
I'm excited.
Well, I'm beyond excited.
Watch
Well,
our
the-
Facebook page.
Watch our Facebook page. Cinda, do you have anything to add before we wrap this up?
I just encourage everybody out there to explore wine and
In general.
in general, whether that's, you're not sure you like Chardonnay anymore, go try one. Go try 5. You'll find one that you like, I promise. Essentially, wine is life, life is wine. So, cheers.
I'm going to make a
Cheers.
shirt like that. With a little bit of knowledge, wine becomes a lot less overwhelming.
Oopsie.
She took us out before I was even done talking. Thanks for joining us. Go get an Oregon wine, and we'll see you next week with Kimberly. Do it up here so I can hear it. There you go.
I'll try.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets, for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you, to health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.